Alrighty, what is going on YouTube? I hope you guys are all doing well. I wanted to do a nice quick short video on tips and tricks on how to travel and as cheap as possible without taking a flight or not renting a car, because those two things alone, on top of all the food and other expenses that you will accrue on your trip, whatever it is that you're doing, will be fairly costly. So if you don't mind driving your own vehicle, you're going to be saving on the cost of renting a vehicle, the cost of what gas might cost on that vehicle if you did rent one. But if you did rent one, I'm assuming most people would want to travel as cheap as possible, unless you are someone who is affluent in money and make a good living, which not everybody does. The average salary is what, 40,000 or something like that per year in the US. So we're going to start with just some basic things that you want to travel with, right? Prime drinks. You know, I'm obviously sponsored by them, so I wanted to pick up a couple extra of these because I don't currently have any. Very low on sugar. It's got all of my, what do we call them again? Electrolytes. Yeah, there we go. Electrolytes. So I got a couple of those drinks. Travel size laundry detergent. This is really good because if you ever stay at a hotel or an Airbnb that has washing machines and drying machines, those are single use. You know, if you're only gone for a couple of days or a week, you only need one or two of those. I got two of them. Travel size shaving cream. Obviously will be more than enough to last the whole trip. Travel size Q-tips. If you're someone who cleans out your ears frequently, then you want to get one of those. These are 99 cents. This costs $1. The Q-tips were a little less than $2. We got a travel size hand sanitizer. This is $1. Travel size Dove soap. That was $1.50. Travel size Listerine. This was about $1.50 or $2. Just a small, cheap roll of paper towels. These are nothing special. This was only, I believe, 70 cents for one of these rolls. Ice packs. Got 2 ice packs. You want to pack a cooler because if you're driving between one destination to the next, you obviously want to keep some drinks cool, whether it be water or Prime. And those are $1.50 a piece. I got 2 of them. And then we got dryer sheets. This was one of the cheapest ones I could get in the smallest quantity. It was less than $2. It's probably the most expensive thing I got here is Kodiak breakfast bars. You want something quick on the go to open up and eat, just to get some calories and some protein. That is a good way to go. Triscuits. Nice little carb boost. Not really. Less than 1 gram of sugar, 20 grams of carbs per serving, which is 6 crackers. Almost everything has some type of carb or a little bit of sugar in it, but this has no saturated fat, very low fat. This thing was $3.50. And then plastic silverware, forks, spoons, and knives. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then another thing that I got was food storage containers. There are 3 of them with 3 lids. That should be pretty self-explanatory. A lot of Airbnbs do come with fridges, and most hotels, 3-star and up, do come, even 2-star hotels come with a fridge. And then, of course, a 4-pack of Red Bull. Self-explanatory. You want some energy for the road. I probably could have gotten a bigger pack, but mind you, most of these things that I'm going to be cooling are going to be going in a cooler, and I can't fit too much unless I want to get a massive cooler, and I didn't get too big of a cooler. It's just this size right here, and that is more than enough for me to fit water, drinks, and a few snacks in. And one of the other great snacks that I got, and people may laugh at this, is Lunchables. But it's turkey, cheese, and the crackers. Great carb boost, a little bit of protein, not too high in fat. Actually, for this tiny little thing, there is a little bit of saturated fat. But if you're on the road and on the go and you're moving, go, your nutrition is not always going to be on point. It's going to be very hard. But if you got a cooler and you're stopping a lot of places, you can shop. Like, I got some rice too. So if I'm at an Airbnb, I'll have kitchens and I'll be able to cook. And that's the next thing. So most hotels around the country you can get for under $100 a night. Most hotels you can get a mini fridge in them, but you won't be able to get a kitchen. That'll be one of the hardest things to do. So what's the other option? Airbnb. Now, Airbnbs differ from state to state, but down in Florida, where I'm going to be traveling most of the time, between $50 and $75 a night is what you can get a decent Airbnb for. A tiny home, a guest suite, an in-law apartment. that's the route that you want to take. Unless you really don't mind paying a little bit less, maybe 40 to 50, $55 a night, you can room in someone else's house, but you're going to be sharing the kitchen, bathroom, and all that other stuff. Between more so $60 and $80 a night, that's where you're going to be able to get the tiny homes, a trailer, a guest suite, where you will have a whole kitchen, you will have a whole bathroom, and most of the unit is going to be to yourself. Whether it's 1 bedroom, highly unlikely it'll be 2 bedroom. You're going to be paying $100 or more a night if you want to get a full entire house or something bigger. And then the more you go, the more expensive it gets, the bigger the home you're going to get, and the more rooms you're going to have, the more space you're going to have, the more amenities you'll have. Most of these places, believe it or not, do come with TV and Netflix and a Wi-Fi signal. So you can't really haggle on the price for that, but what you want to look out for is one place could be $70 a night and have no cleaning fee, or a $50 cleaning fee for the whole entire stay, whether it's 2 days or 5 days. Then you could get a place that is $60 a night, a little bit cheaper, but they could charge $100 to $150 for a cleaning fee. So it ends up being more expensive to get the cheaper place per night if they have a large cleaning fee. So try to look for a place that has a cleaning fee that's like $60 or less for your stay. Some of the places you get Airbnb 4 or 5 days or longer will give you a little bit of a discount because you're doing a long-term stay, so their money is more guaranteed. And that's how Airbnb is. There's a lot of great Airbnbs you can find all over Florida. It's really easy to find a nice private suite or a trailer or a tiny home for $60 to $80 range. I'll be sure to do more posting about that. I do have a video, a YouTube short video on a guest suite that I stayed at for $65, $70 a night or something like that. And with hotels, always search on Google for the rating. You really want the rating to be no less than a 3.5 to a 4 out of 5, because if it's under 3.5, I have found that there's a lot of riffraff there. There's a lot of people from the hood there, a lot of people doing drug deals, long-term stays. The cheaper the place is going to be, the more likely you're going to find shady individuals in those hotels. So try to go for really more so like a 4.0 or better. It doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a 3-star hotel. You want to travel as cheap as possible. Unless you are super flush in cash, you want to find a place. There's many hotels you can find between $50 and $75 a night. Also, a little trick is that you can be good with your words and talk to the person working at the front desk of the hotel. If they are an experienced employee or a manager, you can say, hey, I found a cheaper rate on booking.com or on the internet. Is there any way you can match this price? Or if there's a lot of vacancy and that hotel is not busy, they'll be more likely to haggle with you on the rate. If it is a new employee, they're not going to know what to do. They're not going to know what the hell is going on. So, but more times than, I would like to say 75% of the time you'll be able to haggle with the person who works at the hotel to get a better deal than what you're seeing online. Whether it's $5 or $10 a night less, pay cash if you're doing a deposit, if they take a deposit from you, because you'll get that money back the next day. Not everybody takes a cash deposit, but if I'm going to be traveling, all that stuff that I just showed cost about $50, right? So all the cosmetic stuff, toothpaste, all the stuff that I already have, plus what I got, will definitely last me for this trip. Food is probably going to be the most expensive thing, and then maybe gas. Luckily, I have a mid-size SUV that gets pretty good gas mileage, and I purposely got a vehicle like that on purpose because I knew I was going to be traveling a lot. And so gas, food, your stay. I can go on the road for a week and go around Florida in nice places and have guest suites to myself. And in that whole entire time, I can spend under $1,000 for about a week. Now, if you're going to be going to clubs and going on dates and stuff like that, that's where stuff is going to get more expensive. You're going to be doing some tourism stuff. That's going to get more expensive for me. I'm going to be hanging out with friends that I know. I'm going to be going to gyms. Gyms that I'm already a member at, or gyms where you pay $10 to $15 for a day pass. And food, if you're able to cook in an Airbnb, you're going to save money doing that. Do grocery shopping, go to Walmart, buy rice, buy meats as cheap as possible depending on the weight. Staying in Airbnbs, long-term, you will save more money on food, because the only thing you're going to get at a decent or average hotel is a small mini fridge at most. You're not going to be able to cook food, so you're not going to be able to store food that you're going to be able to cook. It would be pointless. That's where Airbnb comes in. So you got to really debate, is it cheaper to stay in an Airbnb or is it cheaper to stay in a hotel? Because sometimes you may not always find Airbnbs depending where you're staying. If it's a less busy city, less busy state. You might not be able to find a lot of cheaper Airbnbs with a whole entire kitchen. Otherwise, you will save more money in that Airbnb and buying food from the store to cooking it, rather than going out 3 times a day for every single meal. And you're going to be spending, $10 to $25 per person, depending where you go eat. Whereas if you're shopping, you can spend $10 to $20 for the whole entire day and eat for the whole entire day, as long as you're smart about how you grocery shop. So I'll be sure to post more content. I'm getting really excited to travel more and get back into the mix of this stuff. It's been since early 23, end of 22, since I really traveled a lot. This is a new YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you are not already. If you do not follow me on Instagram, please follow me. I'll drop my @ here. And I appreciate anybody that watches the content and finds me on here. Keep following along. Keep killing it. If you're a fitness person, if you're a regular person, you don't work out, you're just trying to do better in life, and you just like watching content, you guys are all right with me. As long as you're not hurting people, hurting children, or doing anything sick, ripping people off, scamming people, you are good in my book. So I will be taking off tomorrow morning. I am very excited for it, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening.